Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. I'm Tang StarCraft here with a ZvT replay analysis, and today what I want to do is show a build that is both safe and aggressive for ZvT. One that, gets you a fairly quick third, but can also defend really anything that Terran throws at you in the early stages. So the real goal of this tutorial is going to be talking about how to stay safe, or at least moderately safe, against all the stuff that Terran can throw at you early, while getting a quick third up and really planning to be hyper aggressive in the mid game. So getting that third base up, saturating it reasonably, and hitting heavy Roach-Ravager aggression in the mid game is going to be our real goal. And we're going to obviously open with a hatch first. Now you could go pool first, gas, and then hatch to be a little safer, but really hatch first is pretty safe in this matchup. So I think I just went 13 Overlord, 17 Hatch, so about as standard as you could go. And then gas, and then pool. Awesome. So 17 pool, 18 gas, 17 pool. Then we'll drone to 19 and get the Overlord. Beautiful. Now this is where you want to stay safe and just wait while this Overlord builds, right? Because you're going to get the 2 queens, your speed, and some lings started right away. And because this will be a fast third build, we'll actually take out a gas at 100. So once we get speed, we'll take these out and transfer them down to the expansion. So just keep eyes on this production tab. And we should be seeing double queen, speed, lings very soon when both hatcheries are done in the pool. Just before I forget, better turn this down. Okay. So yes, queen, speed, lings. Alright, it's almost like I know what I'm doing. So this is what's going to keep me nice and safe early, and obviously if he goes hyper all in with Reapers or something, I can keep building lings with speed, I can keep building queens and defend. But most often, I'm going to be taking this hatchery very soon, like 28, 29 supply. Because I want that greed. So he is going to come in with the Reaper, but 6 lings there to greet it. Shouldn't lose a drone. If you ever do lose a drone, forget about it. Pretend it didn't happen. Don't dwell on it. This is a little stylistic preference that I like, which is to go up to 4 queens right away. So what I'll do with these initial 2 queens, inject, and then move them to the edge of the creep. So that they inject, and then when I get 25 energy again, right away I'm spreading a tumor. And then the next queens can be injecting later. And I like to have those 2 tumors early, like one here and one here early, which is mainly why I go up to 4 queens before the expansion. But theoretically, you could just go 3 queens and take your expansion a bit earlier, but really this doesn't delay it that much. So yeah, these queens going to the edge of the creep want to start spreading as soon as possible. Notice both of these queens, when they're built, they're immediately hotkeyed on my creep control group, which is 3. And then the new queens will be on 5 and 6, my inject control groups. Overlord, and should be seeing the hatch by 3 minutes. Come on, 3 minutes. I fail. I can't even do this tutorial. It was a second late. No. Yeah, so the expansion's got up at a pretty reasonable time. We will be spreading these creep tumors soon. Speed will be finishing soon. Which really, we're just going to be powering drones here. Because our opponent hasn't put on much aggression. So yeah, just even another Overlord would be good, but just powering the drones, not refilling the gas quite yet. Probably with the inject larva. There's that double inject. Ooh, get it. Yeah, so anyway, basic idea is around 44 supplies when you want to be refilling this gas, and even starting your second one and the Roach Warren. So about 330, 345 Roach Warren with 2 gas keeps you nice and safe against any Hellion timings and stuff. You'll have the Warren out in time. So where's that Roach Warren? Where is it? Cutting it a bit close with this Warren. I think maybe just wanted to spend all this larva on drones. Felt safe because I killed the Reaper. There's the second gas. First one's already filled. And Roach Warren, yep, about 4 minutes, so just a little later than I thought. And then a Spore in the main 2. And this is an optional Spore. But lately, I've just been doing it about 4 minutes, 4:15 a Spore, just to deal with Liberators and maybe Banshees. But yeah, having 1 Spore with 4 queens, I think keeps you pretty safe. And as you can see, the creep really starting to spread quite nicely because of having the early 2 creep queens. So Lair with the first 100 gas should be seeing an Evo chamber pretty soon. And just waiting to build some roaches. Now's about the time you'd like to have some roaches being built. But mostly powering the drones. Adding the third gas now. Fourth gas, actually. There's the Evo chamber. So I think the Evo could have been a bit earlier. And like I said, these roaches maybe could have been built a little earlier. Like, I think it's a little risky. He could easily have 4 Hellions on the field. Luckily, he's gone for a really macro build. So he's taken his third CC. And he's just now starting to get lots of barracks production. So we won't be seeing really any early aggression from Terran this game. But we're prepared for it. We're getting the Spore in the main, right? We're getting lots of queens early, and we're even getting some roaches out just in case. Don't want to take any risks in this middle stage. That's why you get the Warren early, is to get some roaches at the very least. Because you never know what type of shenanigans Terran will pull. Now, roaches don't really help too much with this. He's just kind of trying to shut down tumors and stuff. But I am still going to get some additional roaches, because I really don't have a lot of map vision. I don't know if he's coming with Marines and stuff. I haven't done a good job this game of scouting. Like, I don't even know about this third command center, which I easily could. So in this game, I'm just cutting it close. Or, sorry, just playing it safe, really. And just continuing roach production with Ravagers. But in an ideal world, I would actually be saturating my third completely before much roach production. Because he has a third command center. And he's not planning to be aggressive. Creep could be a bit better. There's that +1 attack. I actually got the second Evo chamber, so I will be going 1-1. And yes, even gassing the third, and should be droning it up pretty soon. God, this is so annoying about this map, is this tank. Oh my goodness. Ravagers help. But as you can see, it's just being really pesky here. However, all I really want to be doing here is still droning up my third and just kind of dealing with this. It's not going to do crippling damage, it's just annoying. Lots of drones saturating that third. Would love to have a little more map vision, sell Naga Tower and stuff. But I mean, we should... Wow, look, like 20 drones being built, but we should still be safe against anything Terran can do, because we built a good amount of Roaches and Ravagers early just in case. And if he pushes across the map, we can easily just start pumping Roaches off of our 3 hatch. So 1-1 in speed are on the way. And with that huge round of drones, we should actually fully saturate the third by about 6 minutes, 6:15. About 6:20, 70 workers. Not bad, considering how many roaches we made. So from here, probably we'll start a 4th base, but really, I'm going to try to end the game off of this economy. Like, we don't really need to drone much more past 70. This is pretty good, right? 6 gas, 3 bases. That's enough for a lot of Roach Ravager with upgrades. So as you can see, into the Roach production. Really going to try to keep Terran off of a 3rd base for too long. This is a little overkill, but I don't mind it too much, just because of the style that I'm going. Last thing I want is to deal with drops into my main. Coincidentally, he does plan to do stuff like that. So having these spores here, 5 of them might be a bit overkill, but even that I don't really mind too much, because I'm going to want all my units to be across the map with Roach Ravager. I don't want to have to keep some units back at home, so these 5-6 spores, you know, I won't nitpick it. I kind of like it, actually, as weird as it is. As long as I don't go below too much infill. And I kept 66, so I should just be fine. This is a lot of Marines. Oh, I need more Roaches, I think. Do I have +1 armor? No. He has +1 attack, though. This might actually be enough Roaches. We'll see. 9 Roaches? Yeah. Rock should be dead. More creep should be spread. But the big thing is we have our economy. We have our upgrades coming. So we're just gearing up, essentially, to hit a maxed out timing. Now, just a little macro tip. If you're doing this build not safely and just really powering 3 base economy, you can max out by this point with +2 attack by about 8 minutes, 8:30, fully maxed out with +2 already done. This game, though, I did things like built that, you know, those Roaches early with Ravagers. I built the Spore. All these things were cutting into my 3 base economy, and then even building all these extra Spores. So I'm not quite maxing out as quickly as I could, but as you can see, the supply is still way, way, way in favor. And if we're able to hit a nice big timing soon, I'm actually saturating the fourth, interesting, but if we're able to hit a nice big timing soon, hopefully we can just end the game outright. He's continuing to drop and try to keep me from getting a fourth. This could be bad. Oh, this could be bad. Don't see it in time. That's the kind of thing that's the difference of if these units were over here a bit, I actually could have shut down this drop as it was dropping, but he got too many Marines out of those medevacs. So actually I should be pulling these Roaches and Ravagers back and just waiting for more reinforcements. But the real nice thing is that I'm over 80 drones, or at least I will be once these three come out. So even if he kills a couple here, I'm still maintaining the 66-ish drones. And, ooh! Didn't quite kill that medevac, but that's still nice. If this queen had been positioned, it could have killed it all. Wow, I'm actually going crazy on the drones here. A bit too much. Again, over 80. But here's the real thing. Like, we got our 2-2. We got speed for these Roaches. We got the massive army. I literally, guys, I'm a Grandmaster Zerg player, and I don't know where my opponent is right now, I don't think. I literally have not scouted at all with my Overlords, which is beyond embarrassing, but also just goes to show you that you don't have to have everything in StarCraft, you know? Like, I'm great at what I'm good at, which is massing up an economy and hitting an aggressive timing. I'm not great at scouting and responding to my opponents and, you know, adapting to them. But I still, even with shortcomings, I'm able to play at a very high level. So don't worry too much if you don't have everything. Just focus on, which, this is so embarrassing, focus on what you're good at. I will actually be focusing a bit more on at least knowing where my opponent is by 10 minutes. That's my new goal in StarCraft. Wow, that's a lot of tanks. Okay. So here, I don't think I'm going to be able to push up this ramp at all. Does he have medevacs on the field or something? Is he dropping me? No, he was planning to push, and then I think he just saw how big my army was. And he's going to pull up to that high ground. And with this many tanks and the medevacs, it probably won't push up. We'll see. I would love to. 2-2's done. But how many tanks? Like 9 tanks? No. Yeah, I realize it's way too many tanks. It's the cost of like 24 supply just to move as much as I did. I swear if I had moved another inch or two, I would have lost half of this army. This is the absolute worst possible engagement I could take with no high ground vision. It's no good. So I'm going to pull back. I'm going to remax Roaches. I'm going to take some additional bases. One here. Infestation Pit. Move towards later game. Maybe take this base too. Here, though, this engagement is much different. Much different than the one before. Let's go back just a couple seconds. Pause. Good. So notice how when he's at the top of the ramp, he has the vision advantage. He has vision all down here. But I wouldn't have vision of the high ground, so his tanks are all attacking and my Roach-Ravager and stuff isn't. Once he's down here, then I have the vision of his whole army, and I can also be throwing down the corrosive bios on his groups of tanks, which were very clumped up.
Your forces are under attack.
So he scouts, he sees me there. I'm surprised he moved his tanks so far forward, but I think he wanted to prevent my run by over here. Even so, this is looking actually pretty nice. I'm going to throw down all the bios here, and I really should be able to eliminate a lot of these forces. So now I see it. I turn. Where do the bios go down? You can already see them. In between these tanks, should be able to kill at least 2. A couple over here. You can barely see it. And probably, yeah, some going down on this bio, forcing it to move and take some damage. See how many those did? That's crazy damage. So this was pretty good, I would say. I killed a lot of his tanks, a lot of his bio forces. Now, unfortunately, I am going to start to lose Ravagers. I don't think I have many more Roaches left. So, well, it's awfully close, isn't it? Bio's going down on the tank. Nice hits. Oh, yeah. That was just barely enough. Like, I could have pulled back maybe a bit earlier, but I actually had just barely enough to kill all his Marines. And with the bios, actually take out a good amount of the tanks and stuff. So momentum, whew, definitely in my favor right now. Yeah, too small of an army to maybe push up there, but that's like 31 Roaches in production. So much gas, just going to remax instantly. Infestation Pit did finish, so I'll probably start that hive. Probably start Pathogen Glands, maybe. Yeah, just the hive of this game. Not choosing to go Infestors. But I could if I had the supply. But really, this is how I like to win a lot of games, which is just MASS Roach-Ravager in the mid stages. And the hardest part about this type of build is just keeping your third and fourth bases alive, because often they'll be dropping. So that's why I do things like this with the extra spores. I go a little more liberal with them, so that I can keep my full army across the field to hopefully keep him from getting that Terran death ball and a crucial tank count and all that stuff I hate. Trying to get in range of the tanks. This is actually kind of cool. I have the Overseer here, and he doesn't have a lot of anti-air, so I'm actually able to land these corrosive biles on the tanks on the high ground, as opposed to just taking hits all day. Yeah, so here, a lot of players might push up here, but I mean, he has a pretty good defensive situation. I'm more the kind of person who's going to take him off of his third base and secure this guaranteed damage, killing all these SCVs and whatever infrastructure he has here, like this barracks or factory. And honestly, the real reason I'm winning this game isn't just because I have this big army here. It's because I'm able to maintain my economy while he's not. And that's a product of really just getting in their face early with Roach-Ravager. Free tank. Maybe? Maybe? Oh, sniped. Anyway. Obviously that was great for me. I don't really see how I lose from here. Still maxed out, still going to continue the Roach-Ravager pressure. But if I want, I can get the Ultralisk Cavern. And the Ultras actually help a fair bit with this composition in terms of tanking and stuff. There's the 3-3. So there we go, he's finally getting a dropout, but really is it going to do much? We'll have to see. Ugh. So here's another of those situations where you're moving up a ramp with this army and kind of hating it while you do it. Luckily, this time I have the Overseer here, so I am able to get some vision. And the real main reason that I'm taking this fight, where I didn't earlier, is because he doesn't have a big Marine ball. So I'm able to get up close to these tanks and kill them, whereas earlier I would have had to kill the Marines first, and that's just way too much. As you can see, I'm getting up on these tanks this time. I'm not getting bogged down on this narrow ramp. Always remaxing. Constantly chucking those biles, doing as much damage as possible, and again, more economic damage. Nice bios. And the supply tells the tale at this point. And like even at this stage, a lot of players will be getting the ultras and stuff. I'm the kind of person who will end the game with Roach-Ravager if I can. I hate tech. I just want the victory screen as early as possible. That's the extent of my goal. Yeah, run away. Pulling back some units to defend, keeping some to aggress. A little thing there is when you're chasing these SCVs, what I'm actually doing is move commanding and then holding position so that I stop and shoot at them no matter where they are. A little bit more economic damage to do that way. This game should be over. Just waiting for him to leave. Constantly remaxing. I love this composition, Roach-Ravager, and there's the GG. Okay, so quick recap. Early on, we go for a very standard opening, right? Hatch gas pool, get our speed, get our queens early, and then remove from gas, maximize that mineral income for a bit so we can get our third nice and early. And then even after we start our third, we're at like 30 supply or so. Even there, we're still droning hard. We're getting like right up to about 44 supply, so really powering our natural and trying to saturate it quickly. And then, once we're at about 44, that's about the time we're refilling the gas, starting the second gas, and then getting the Roach Warren Evo Chamber. Maybe one Spore around 4 minutes. And really just moving into some Roaches to defend while you saturate your third completely. And it's the kind of build that you can do that's really safe, no matter what, but it benefits a lot from extra scouting information. So in this game, I really didn't do a lot of scouting, and I was a bit lucky because my opponent didn't really pressure. He got a fast third command center. But in another game, he might do something like attack right when my Roach Warren's done with a Hellbat timing, and it really would have helped for me to have scouted it so I could get the Warren earlier and prepare for it. So there are a lot of ways that scouting makes this style better. But it's not like you absolutely have to have perfect scouting to pull this off. It's the kind of build that's a little bit forgiving in the sense that it's a bit safe and, you're building so many Roaches and Ravagers in the mid-game that you're just really safe against anything that Terran can throw at you in the middle stages. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I might actually see if I have a second replay to look at. I might have another one where I do the same thing. So bear with me here one sec. Let me see what we got. The only thing, I don't want to choose one that's not... Let's do this one. Smile's really good. Maybe I'll do this one. I'll do this one. I'm not 100% sure I go for that fast third in this one, but hopefully I do. Otherwise I'll be scrapping this second part of the tutorial. I'm just going to speed through the opening stages, make sure the build's right. Yeah, hatch on 17, gas and then pool. This game went pool then gas, but really it's very close. Overlord, yeah. Queens, Speedlings. Beautiful. And yes, I did remove from gas, so we will be taking this third very early. So this will be a relevant replay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so the 2 queens are coming. I should have another Overlord on the way soon. And then I actually like to go up to the total of 4 queens, as we talked about. Yeah, inject, move to spread the tumor soon. And then at about 34, whatever supply, this is when we get our third base. Beautiful. By 3 minutes? No! Anyway, that's you guys being better players than me will get that, right? 3-minute third base. Drones. Up to about 44. Then this is when we refill the gas and start a second one. Come on. See, like, this is why we do this gas timing, is because if you look, we're really fully saturating our natural before even 4 minutes, so very early. And if you fill the gas earlier and you take your second gas earlier, it cuts into this economy, and you don't want that. You want to avoid that. So this game, yeah, so here we go. Going up to 2, actually going up to 3 gas, because I think it's just because I delayed this one a little bit. So I'm deciding to get 2 gases at the natural, just a small difference. But the big thing, the Roach Warren, 345, and just Overlords, drones, and maybe a Spore. Could be seeing a Spore in the main soon. So we do see Hellions this game. Remember that last game where we took a look at our opponent's base, we saw the third command center. This game, the opponent's actually planning to be much more aggressive. Only has their second command center, no third started, and right away into the starport, cloak, and even these Hellions getting out on the field. I think already up to 4, going up to 6. So a much more aggressive opening from my opponents. And as a result, I'm not going to drone my third. I'm content just to keep this economy. 16 at the natural, 16 at the main, 3 gas. That's great. Very content to stay on this economy until I get some Roaches and Lings out, and then I'll saturate my third. If I could be very critical of my play, no Spore by 4 minutes. Oh no. Of all the times to forget the Spore. When your opponent's going double Banshee with Cloak. I mean, up until now, this is actually looking really nice. I'm feeling fine about my position in this game. I'm just droning my third really hard. Getting some Roaches out. I think I only have 1 and a second coming with some Speedlings. And he only has a couple of Hellions, so this is fine. I'm feeling nice and safe. But where things are going to start to fall apart is when this Banshee comes in. So, why don't I just follow my point of view and see what happens, because I don't have any detection or a lair yet. So we should be seeing some spores very quickly. I don't even know about it. It's coming in, but I don't even know. I'm too busy focusing on these hellions. And about now I know. There's the... And I'm like, shit! So, there's no point trying to build like a bunch of spores and keeping the drones here and having them die. No, you need to run everything here away. Right away. That's the first plan of action. And probably even building 2 spores at the natural. Keep the queens alive, keep the drones alive. Gonna start a spore here. I like it. 2 spores, good. And just evacuate these workers. 2 spores already at the natural, good. And 1 or 2 at the third right away, too. Awesome. You know, this sucks. He's doing some damage here, but this Banshee's only gonna have a limited amount of damage done, right? Yeah, like even this evacuation here, maybe could have done it a bit earlier just to wait till the spores got up. So he got 9 kills. That's that sucks, obviously, but really, well, actually I should look at it this way: 9 kills and 5 spores. So pretty significant. However, his investment to build those Banshees and stuff, like his third isn't even finished yet. So I'm not too thrown off by it. As long as I can clean up these Banshees without too much more damage, I'm fine. And as I say that, 1 more kill, but get over there. What are you doing, you lazy beast? I guess defending me. Oh no. No! I don't know why. I'm droning here. I'm like focusing on other stuff, I guess, and just not realizing that these Hellions are coming behind the line. Wow, I fell way behind this game. So just imagine that the Spore had been up in the main, and that queen, like I didn't have to evacuate at all because the Spore was there and I just defended fine. And then obviously these Hellions, I would have been focused on them a bit more and dealt with them. So I easily could have, with better control and just preemptively building that Spore, I could have stayed at an economic advantage against this player, I think. But it's not game-ending by any means. Because what this means to me, now that I've pushed away... Am I going to kill the Banshee? Kill it. Yeah! What this means to me, now that I've killed, I think, both Banshees, is that, you know, there's no real threat. He's not going to be hitting me on the ground with a massive ground army. If he went for double cloak Banshees, he's more likely going to be building up for quite a while. So I should be very safe right now just to drone to that full 3-base saturation point, right up to like 66 plus workers. Should be my goal with 1-1, with Roach Speed. And then I can go into that heavy aggressive Roach-Ravager play that we do in the mid game. Will we see the 1-1? Yep. The opponent's just going up to standard mid-game play. Evo chambers, 5 barracks, factory, and a starport. Nothing too unusual there. If we look at the income, just now pulling ahead, but I would argue Terran's slightly ahead. He's got the mules, he's up to 3 CC, and just did so much damage early. Power and drones. Need to get to 66. Still not quite there. At this stage, I'd love to see more Overlords in production. Yeah, like that. Never want to get supply blocked, especially when you're building so many Roaches and Ravagers. You want to be way ahead of supply so that if he pushes, you don't have to wait to build Overlords. You already have the supply. You just need to build the Roaches and the Ravagers. Nothing worse than getting supply blocked right before a big drop or a big push hits you. Income this game, 65, so almost full 3-base saturation with all the gas. Just below that. So we're into all Roach and Ravager production. I don't know how keen will be on a big fight. He only has 2 medevacs though. Just in case he goes up into the main, I want to make sure I'm prepared to deal with this. I think he might actually just be going to clear creep. Yep. Ugh. Big supply block here at 130. Should see like 6-7 Overlords being built any second. Yeah, 7 Overlords. What do you know? 1-1 just finishing. Probably going to queue up the 2-2. Infestation pit going down too. A little earlier than I usually get it. I tend to hit the 2-2 timing before getting Infestors. There's the 2-2. Lots of Roach-Ravager production. Clears the tumor, that's really no problem. No biggie. These rocks thankfully have been broken, so hopefully I'll be able to defend this base. And here's my time to counter push. 21 roaches in production, really trying to max out. I'm gonna see if we can do some damage. He does the counter push as he should, and this is a shining example of why I never do a Roach-Ravager push against Terran and drone fully behind it. Almost never, because if they do any kind of drop and you droned, then you have to pull all your army back to defend, and you just hate your life. So it's usually better when you're doing this type of style just to keep building roaches so that these reinforcement units can delay and keep me from losing this hatchery, hopefully. See how useful these reinforcements are being? I actually did pull my army back, but I didn't need to. If I could go back in time, I would have probably just cleared the Xel'Naga and actually pushed with this army, because his stuff's all here. So if I could have pushed into here, probably could have done some damage, forced to cancel, etc. But getting up to that 10-minute mark, not quite at 2-2, but we're almost there, and we're close to maxed as well. So not in a terrible position, though this army is kind of scary. Getting some Infestors out. Did we get Pathogen? No. I do lose that hatch, and it kind of sucks. But really, my 3-base economy is what matters most. Even though I have idle workers. Aha! No. Yeah, run. So this is what I want. I don't know why he's doing this, but I'll take it. All I want right now is to do a big fight. Ideally on creep would be great, but just anywhere he's not like up on a ridge like this. Like, I don't want to fight him where his tanks all have vision and I'm just taking a bunch of hits for free. I want to fight out in the open like this where I have the vision and I can just throw down those bios wherever I want. So this is a great trade. Like, this, I can tell already this is going to be a great trade for me. I don't really know why he wants to do this. Like, if I were Terran right now, I would be thinking like, holy shit, that's a big Roach-Ravager army. Maybe I'll just kind of hang back and get my 4th up in tanks and liberators and stuff. But hey, if he wants to push it. Lots of bios going down in the middle of these tanks, killing lots of medevacs, tanks, marines. And like, I lost some stuff, but that actually went pretty well. Better than I was expecting it to go, given how much damage he did early. That Spore paid for itself. Oh my god, again. This is the stage in the game where I start to get a little frustrated. I hate drops. I really do. So, yeah, he cancels that base, and even this, like, how do I shut this down? It's 5 Marines, but it can cancel this expansion indefinitely. So I decide just to leave some units here. Kind of a weird assortment of units to leave. But maybe I'll be able to land. Like, I'm not very good at the fungal and corrosive bile, but in theory, should be able to shut this medevac down with it. No. But the push. This is what matters, and he's actually pushing too. And he sees it. Yeah, this is Xel'Naga vision. I really should have cleared it. This is less than ideal, to say the least. But what is ideal is we're going to get a good trade here, I think. How have I not taken the Xel'Naga? How? I'm just so focused on the production and trying to get a good engagement that I'm not really focused on map vision. Yeah, so here we go again. Oh, this is probably why I'm fungling over here. 1, 2, 3. Good enough. Cleaned up the Marines, I can actually leave. Will that die? No. This engagement's going pretty well. I try to avoid the situation where the Marines and Marauders are attacking the Ravagers. I would love them to be attacking the Roaches instead. Roaches are tankier, Ravagers are more expensive, so of course that makes sense. But I have a really nice arc here, like a big wide concave. His army is pretty small, so I'll take this trade any day. Oh, I'll take that trade any day. And looking at the supply, it's looking awfully good. Gonna push right in. Try to get some vials in this area. Yeah. And the Rage Quit from Stimpacker. So, like, this is a perfect example of a game where I made some mistakes. Like, didn't get the Spore early, took extra damage to the Banshee, but kept composure fairly well. Still hit that economy, even though things went wrong. Hit the full 3-base economy. At least 60 workers, ideally about 66. And then just went for it, man. +2/+2 Roach-Ravager aggression. And, I mean, if the opponent had played it a little, I guess, more defensively and with a little more, I don't want to say cunning because that's a bit rude, but if they had just kind of recognized how big my army was and didn't trade it in the middle of the map, I mean, Terran probably could have held this and forced a longer game. But, yeah, you can win a lot of games with this aggressive timing in the middle stages, and really you don't need the Infestors and the Ultralisks too often. It's only when Terran are really, really, really passive and defensive that you have to move towards Hive. So that is the end of my tutorial video for the safe and aggressive ZvT. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll let you go. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Tang StarCraft. Please check out www.tangstarcraft.com for SC2 coaching. Alright guys, take care.